Think strict Airbnb laws kill your short-term rental dreams? What if I told you they could actually make your investment more profitable? If you're thinking about investing in a short-term rental, there's one thing that probably makes your stomach drop: regulations. Think zoning limits, permit requirements, occupancy caps. For many new hosts, these feel like red flags, and sometimes they are. But what if I told you that the very thing scaring people away might actually work in your favor? That's right. Airbnb regulations, when understood and navigated well, can turn into one of your biggest competitive advantages. Let's break it down. I'm Dustin with AirDNA. Let me tell you a tale of two cities. Both are popular with tourists, both have vibrant local economies, but one, let's call it Market A, has no real short-term rental restrictions. Anyone can list anytime, anywhere. The other, Market B, stricter. You need a license. You can only host in your primary residence. Maybe there's a cap on the number of permits. Most people would choose Market A. It seems easier, less red tape, but here's what actually happens. Market A gets flooded with listings. Everyone's competing. Prices drop. Occupancy drops. And so does your income. Meanwhile, Market B, it has a moat. Fewer listings, less competition. Hosts who are compliant, they charge more, fill up faster, and often earn more with less hassle. Regulations become your barrier and your advantage. The biggest myth in STR investing is that regulations are all bad. In reality, they act as a filter. They keep the market from being flooded with copy and paste listings. Let's take Maui, Hawaii, for example. In 2024, the county proposed removing thousands of short-term rentals, especially in apartment-zoned areas. But if you already had a license, you were safe. Demand skyrocketed while supply shrank, and those hosts, they made bank. In Denver, the city only allows STRs in your primary residence. It sounds restrictive, but it stops big companies from crowding the market. For the local host, that means fewer competitors, more consistent bookings, and better profit margins. Regulations aren't something to fear, but they are something to research. Before you buy, ask yourself, what are the current laws? What could change? Is this market trending toward tighter enforcement? Start with Airbnb's city regulation directory, then go deeper. Check your local housing departments, talk to real estate agents who specialize in STRs, and follow local government proposals. Look at New York City. In 2023, they rolled out new registration rules, guest limits, and strict enforcement. Hosts had to pivot fast. Some shifted to 30+ day minimums to stay compliant. The ones who adapted, they're still thriving. Now, before you dive into a new market, you've got to understand the regulatory climate. That's where AirDNA's regulation score comes in. It's part of our overall market score, and it tells you how tight or how loose local STR rules really are. Let's break down what actually goes into this score and what it means for you. Percentage of hosts with multiple properties. If a large chunk of hosts in the market own multiple listings, that's a green flag. It usually means the city isn't cracking down on professional STR operators. Higher number, higher regulation score. Percentage of properties available full-time. This looks at how many properties are rented out for more than 80 days in a calendar year. If lots of rentals are running year-round, that market probably allows for full-time STRs without too many hoops to jump through. Ratio of entire place rentals. Are most listings still full homes or apartments, not just private rooms? If the market hasn't clamped down on entire place rentals, that tells you regulations are still pretty relaxed. Percentage of properties still active after 1 year. This one's all about stability. If most properties are still live after 12 months, it means regulations aren't suddenly forcing hosts out of the game. That consistency boosts the score. Percentage of listings using instant book. Hosts in low regulation markets are more likely to turn on instant book. So if you see a high percentage using it, odds are the market's not bogged down by red tape or screening rules. Percentage of properties displaying a license number. This one flips the script. A high percentage of license numbers might sound like a good thing, but it often means stricter oversight. That actually brings the regulation score down, signaling more friction for the hosts. So don't just guess if a market's host friendly. Measure it. The regulation score brings all these signals together to help you plan smarter, invest wiser, and avoid surprises down the road. Before you make a move, let's talk about the landmines, the mistakes too many STR hosts make. Mistake number 1, thinking today's rules will last forever. Just because a city allows short-term rentals now doesn't mean it always will. We've seen places flip the script in under a year. So always ask, what's the trend? Not just what's the rule today. Mistake number 2, skipping the fine print. Yeah, the headlines might say STRs are legal, but the details are where the deals die. You might need a business license, a zoning variance, or guest caps you didn't plan for. Dig deep or risk getting burned. Mistake number 3, relying on tech to keep you compliant. Your pricing tool is great at maximizing revenue, but it's not built to track local laws. If you assume software will flag compliance issues, you're playing a risky game. Mistake number 4, falling for a great deal in a risky market. It looks like a steal, the numbers pencil out, but if that city bans STRs next year, you're stuck with a property that doesn't cash flow. A deal is only good if it still works tomorrow. Regulations change, and your strategy, it has to evolve with them. That's why tools like AirDNA's regulation score aren't just nice to have, they're your first line of defense. Picture this. You're one of a few licensed STR hosts in a high demand city. Every other investor is blocked. You're not. That license, it's like owning beachfront property. Limited, valuable, and protected. So instead of seeing regulations as a wall, see them as a moat. They keep bad actors out, and if you're willing to play by the rules, they give you a real edge. Have you ever avoided or succeeded in a regulated market? I'd love to hear your story. Drop it in the comments below. It might help another host make a smart move. Short-term rental regulations aren't the end of the road. They're part of the map. Learn them, use them, and invest with confidence. Tools like AirDNA's regulation score help you make smarter, safer decisions so you can focus on your growing business.